and welcome. I am Dr. Jay Hitson, and I am the founder of GoodDoctors.Health. I hope everyone had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I know we just celebrated Thanksgiving here in the United States, and I know a lot of you around. I was talking to several of you from around the globe who also have various celebrations. Coming this weekend and throughout this season, and that's a lot of what we're talking about this season is, as we're coming into the end of the year, as we're coming into as the holiday season, you know just really paying attention to our health during this time, because here's what so many people do is they they overindulge, they get so stressed out, they end up doing so many of these other things, and they end up sacrificing their own health or their own progress or what they've been up to, what they've been, making headway with, up to this point. So hopefully this whole series is just a reminder of don't don't totally sacrifice all of your progress. Stay on track and do the things that matter. Today, one of the things that I really want to talk about is just healthcare for those who want more than another prescription. There is a huge movement of individuals who they just want more. They want more from their healthcare. And let me just tell you, it has really evolved a lot. How healthcare has changed a lot over the decades, especially since, I've been a part of all of this. And here's what I have been seeing is that we've been steadily moving more and more to this very rushed, very hurried. Your time with the doctor is very clipped, especially your primary care. Some of the specialists may have a little bit more time, but I'm going to tell you that your normal traditional primary care physicians, they are on an intense time schedule and it's not allowing for much discussion. It's not allowing for too much of anything. There's really just enough time to basically go in there, discuss the very basics, and write a script for anything that's causing you problems. And that's in itself just a real issue, because we are complex people. We it is not like a one size fits all. You can't simply look at you can't just simply look at a set of lab results and know exactly what is wrong with that person. You have to have the ability to discuss with them what have they been doing, what have they been working on. I'm going to give you a great example. I got to work with an incredible woman today who's done so much for her health that her labs actually look pretty amazing, even though she's still having a lot of issues, specifically digestion, a lot of digestive issues. But when you look at her lab work, it looks fantastic, especially compared to most Americans. I mean, she looks like she's crushing it, but here she still has these problems. She knows something is wrong, and that's what's happening every time she goes to the doctor. They're like, "You look great, no, everything's normal," and that's what she keeps running up against. And the thing that really, to get answers for her, and it wasn't easy. I mean, we really had to spend, it took almost an hour to get to the root cause of what is going on with her system, and why, even though it looks so normal, it looks so good, why is her system causing all these issues? So, yeah. I just appreciate everybody chiming in. This is the big thing that I'm wanting to discuss today is, like, those of you who want more from healthcare than just more prescriptions. And that's what we were just really running into whenever we were doing a lot of the primary care work and doing those kind of things in our offices. We were, especially with the insurance regulations and all the paperwork and all the things, it was incredible how rushed that time frame was, how you couldn't spend the time that you needed. Now, in this particular woman's case, which was just such a great example, we actually found out that there's probably a genetic condition that's going on with her that is creating this inflammation in her system. And because that inflammation has been going on for so long, here we are, years later, and now she's starting to have a lot of these really, really bad issues. And frankly, there is no medication. There is no medication that is going to fix this particular genetic factor. But what we can do is address the diet. We can address the foods. We were able to go back through and really find out what it is that her system was asking for. And her system is so unique. I'm going to tell you again, some people are doing so much right, it honestly makes their labs look amazing. And you have to kind of then read between the lines based on the nutrients that they're doing, the type of diet they're doing, and you have to reformat the entire thing based on that. But once we got done, we found the solution. So for those who are really looking for, they're looking for healthcare beyond more and more prescriptions. There are several different things that you can be doing. And let me just tell you, you're not alone. If you are fed up, you don't want more scripts, if and let me just say this, so many people ask me this question, like, well, I don't want to take this medication, what do I do? Or like, I want to get off of all of my medications. I hear this one just about every single day. I want to get off of all of my medications. you know what do I do? And the answer is, you get to the root cause. Okay, there is not going to be like a 50-50 back and forth split for most things. Like, if you want off of this particular medication, then okay, take that supplement instead. There's some of that, but I'm going to tell you, well, like cholesterol, I will tell you that there are some things that you can do supplement wise for cholesterol that, I mean, I'll tell you, they absolutely rival what the medications can do. It's really, really cool. So, one of the things that, but the rest of it, it is going to come down to a lot of what your body's asking for with regards to food. What is your body asking for with regards to some of these basic key nutrients? You really need to take these things on. And yes, I mean, and here's the thing is, I'm going to tell you, aging well, a lot of us, we've been watching our parents age. And let me say this, I'm at that age where I've been watching my friends age, and I don't want to age like them. I don't want i don't want the traditional I don't want that. And that's one of the reasons why I've been doing this work. uh Oh my goodness. You know what? I thank you so much for that comment. I remember when doctors' offices used to only have, like, yes, a few chairs in the waiting room, and the doctor in general probably owned their practice. And you're absolutely right. So many of these physicians anymore, it is like Grand Central Station. You're 100% right. And one of the big issues is that so many of these healthcare clinics have been bought out by the conglomerate, by hedge funds. And so now the doctors that you're seeing, they're no longer have the freedom. Let's use that word. They no longer have the freedom to treat you the way that they necessarily want to treat you. They have to treat you within the system. They have to. It's called a standard of care. It's that's and and that's a real issue, because not everybody fits into the standard of care, and that's a really, really big problem. And here's the thing is, for those of us, like, again, I see, there's a lot of us who want to age well. We want longevity. We want vitality. We want to be able to run circles around people half our age, for decades to come. That doesn't happen by accident. That does not happen by accident. That happens when we are on purpose and we know what we need to be doing for our own health. Now, I do use blood work to know what that is, because otherwise you're kind of guessing. And there's so many supplements out there. There are so many supplements out there that, and there's so many programs, and there's so many different things that, there's all the things, right? And which one's right for you? We don't really know until look at the blood work, we see what your body is asking for. So here's one of the big things. Whenever people are asking me again, I don't want to go on a prescription, what do I do? Well, one, get real good, thorough blood work done so you can see all the different elements. That's number one. And number two, really test the theory that diet, nutrition, exercise, lifestyle, prove it to yourself that diet, lifestyle, and exercise can't fix this problem. Okay. Prove it to yourself, because here's the thing is, if it's being caused by your diet, by your lifestyle, then taking the medication is just a band-aid, and the underlying problem is going to continue to get worse. And that is not the recipe for great aging. If you fundamentally have all of these issues going on under the surface, but we're masking them with these medications, do you think we're not going to age well? We're not going to be doing awesome, well into our 50s, 60s, 70s, and definitely 80s and 90s. And that's the big thing that I'm running into is so many. I'm watching our parents. I'm watching our elderly loved ones, who some are aging amazing. Let me tell you, we've got some people in my family. I'm like, I can only hope that I got their genetics. They are crushing it. I have an aunt who is going to be like in Iceland for the New Year's Eve, so that she can see the fireworks and the northern lights at the same time. And I mean, this woman's in her 70s. She travels all over the world. That's awesome. That's what we want to be. But let me just tell you, like, getting there, that doesn't happen by accident. There's a lot of very important decisions that you have to be making in order to have that kind of energy and that kind of stamina and that kind of everything around us. So for the big thing that I want to encourage everybody, and I wish this was like just the standard, is I almost wish you had to prove before they would give you the medication, before they give you your statin or your, you name it. Right now, right now, high blood pressure and statins are like the two big ones that I see constantly coming through. Before they would give you those, I wish you had to prove that your diet, your exercise, and nothing couldn't work. It would just completely change the entire dynamic of how healthcare runs. But for the most part, as we are coming into this season, the key things I would just encourage every one of you with is, if you want to stay healthy, all the longevity, all the studies, all the research is showing that there are a few key things. If you want to do this and you want to do it right, you have to you have to be able to breathe. You have to be able to exercise and move without losing your breath. That's a huge one. That's a huge indicator that you're losing your longevity. You have to remain flexible. But the other big one is, people who live longer, they're not on medications. They're not on fistfuls of medications. They take only what they need when they need it, and that is it. And in general, they take extremely little. They have no chronic disease. So reversing chronic disease early, and addressing it as soon as possible, that's the secret to ultimate longevity. So hope this helped. Thank you all so much. And if there's anything I can do for you, please put it in the comments. And as always, like and subscribe. I appreciate it.